Hey, I'm Yoad. Welcome to my studio. Today, I'm going to talk about 3 reasons why we should monitor quietly while mixing. The first reason is the room we're mixing in. In most rooms, the reflections don't behave in a linear way. What that means is that if we monitoring quietly, we're actually cheating the room to not take part in the process. So we can actually hear what's coming out of the speakers rather than the reflections from the ceiling, the floor, and the walls. In a room like this, which is designed to have a linear response, I can play really loud and the room will respond in a measured and predictable way. But most rooms are not designed with such accuracy. So we're going to hear more reflections the louder we play through the speakers. And also, we want the speakers to play in the comfort zone. When the speakers work really hard, it means that the coil that drives the membrane has to travel more distance, and it does it thousands of times per second. So we're introducing some artifacts which degrade the sonic accuracy and the representation of what we want to actually hear through the speakers. So if the speakers are happy and the room is not taking part in the process, we can have much better judgment because we're listening to what we actually mixing and not the reflections and the artifacts that speakers which work too hard introduced. Reason number 2. When we play really loud, we tend to have a false perception of impact. The drums sound more punchy, the vocal sounds more frontal, and everything sounds more in your face, louder and better, but this is not what actually is happening in the mix. And when we turn it down or when we then listen to the mix in other environments, like in the car or on other systems, we're not going to have the same sensation and the same impact. So it's actually better to work harder during the mix really quietly and making sure that every element gets the presence, the impact, the punch that it needs by treating it in the mix, rather than having this false sensation of everything sounding more impactful. By doing that, we're actually training our brain to pick up on more minute details. Imagine when you're outside on a sunny day, your pupils contract, so you get less contrast, you get less details, everything is washed. And a similar thing happens with our ears. We have this mechanism that is designed to protect our hearing. So if we're mixing quietly, we're actually training our ears and our brain to pick up on more details. And then we can develop an understanding of what's important in a mix and how to blend everything together in a way that you can still hear all the details, what needs to poke out, what needs to be in the background. We have a better understanding of the depth in our composition. So I always mix as quietly as possible. Sometimes people think that you need to enjoy the mix and get into the vibe and all that. But if you enjoy in the studio while mixing, it doesn't mean that your mix is going to be good. I'm after mixes that last, that sound good in any listening environment, in the car, in the club, on any speakers, even on the phone. And to achieve that, I always mix really quietly. And I'm enjoying it actually, because I can stay concentrated for hours and I can stay focused and I'm hearing much more details. Reason number 3, which is quite obvious, we want to protect our hearing. We only have 2 ears and they have to serve us for the rest of our career and our life. And once we damage our hearing, it's permanent. It's not coming back. So we can lose the high frequencies gradually and then we can't mix anymore. You should be very careful about that. My ears are the most precious possession I have. I can mix on any speaker, I can use any synth, any guitar, any desk, any plugin, it doesn't matter. It's only my ears that matter, and I take good care of them. So taking these 3 reasons into consideration made me enjoy mixing quietly. If I want the artist, the label to have fun, nothing wrong with that, but I don't do it for long periods of time. I would play the song once, maybe loud, These speakers sound amazing and I do enjoy it, but when I work for hours on hours, I just work very quietly and I actually enjoy it very much. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, you know what to do, and I will see you on the next one.